Social life is a huge part of the Hanover College experience, whether you're playing games in the WAC or having a mixer with some good old Gendy's pizza. One of the biggest aspects of social life on campus are the fraternity parties. The Halloween party, Heaven and Hell, graffiti, and even Fiji Island could be at risk for having smaller attendance this year. The new policy states that whenever a fraternity hosts a party, they must fill out a social event registration form. This way, chapter advisors are more informed on what kind of events the chapter is hosting. The next part of the policy, and arguably the most significant to students, is the guest list rule. Each fraternity member can only have 2.5 guests signed in under his name. Matt Deeg, Assistant Director of Fraternity, Sorority, and Residence Life, says this is a cautionary measure so event hosts will take more responsibility for their guests.
I want people who are hosting social events to say, okay, these are the 2-3 people that I know I'm willing to vouch for, and if something goes wrong, I will take responsibility for these individuals.
There was initial backlash from students, Deeg said, mostly because for once, students weren't consulted in this decision. This policy was crafted over the summer and done so in response to issues that occurred at 3 out of 4 fraternities last year. Time passes, there have been some positive outcomes.
One of the interesting things with this new social policy, I've seen a huge uptick in the number of mixers that we've been having. I would say it's actually quadrupled from previous years, because prior to that, people just weren't doing that. They were relying on, oh, we're just going to go over to a fraternity party and be drunk or get drunk or whatever over there, and that counts as us, mixing and socializing.
Deeg isn't the only one enforcing the policy. Each chapter's risk manager is just as responsible for making sure their house follows the policy guidelines. Cody Reister, risk manager for Fiji, says things have actually gotten better with the new policy.
With the new social policy, the parties are not only limited to a certain amount of people, but there are certain guidelines that we have to follow to make it safer and a more enjoyable atmosphere for everybody.
Students like Lindsay Upchurch think this policy could create preventable issues among the student body.
I think it leaves out a lot of the students on campus who aren't really close to some of the fraternity brothers. Therefore, it leads to kind of a hierarchy of the student body and who gets invited and who doesn't.
Like it or not, it looks like this policy is here to stay. For Hanover Headlines, I'm Hannah Taylor.